If you've ever felt a woman's energy pull back right when the moment feels real, your chest tightens, and you can't explain why, this is for you. That uneasy silence, the half smile, the sudden distance, it's not rejection. It's something far more complicated and far more revealing. Before we go any deeper, take 1 second and like this video and subscribe. Not for me, for you, because what you're about to hear will change how you read women forever. I'm speaking to you as a psychologist, but also as a woman who understands what happens when attraction collides with fear. When a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, her mind and nervous system betray her long before her words do. And the first sign is emotional contradiction. She sends mixed signals that feel confusing, even destabilizing. One moment she's warm, curious, engaged, asking about your life, remembering small details, leaning into the conversation. The next, she pulls back. Replies slow down. Her tone cools. She creates space that wasn't there before. This isn't manipulation. It's internal conflict. When a woman is attracted but afraid, of rejection, of losing control, of getting attached, her psychology splits. One part of her wants closeness, another part wants safety, and safety often means distance. So she oscillates, hot, then cold, present, then unavailable, interested, then guarded. Here's the truth most men are never told. Indifference is consistent. Fear is inconsistent. If she didn't care, you wouldn't feel confused. You'd feel nothing. Confusion is the emotional fingerprint of suppressed desire. Watch how she reacts when you pull back slightly. Not disappear. Just reclaim your center. A woman hiding attraction becomes visibly unsettled when she senses she might lose access to you. Her body language tightens. She checks for your attention without directly asking for it. She finds reasons to reinsert herself into your awareness. Subtle comments, accidental messages, sudden curiosity. This is not a game, it's a protective reflex. She is managing risk while craving connection. And here's where men sabotage themselves. They chase clarity, they demand certainty, they push for reassurance. That pressure forces her fear to win. Strength, to her subconscious, is emotional steadiness. When you remain grounded, warm but not needy, present but not chasing, you create psychological safety. And safety is the only environment where hidden attraction can surface. Remember this. A woman hiding her feelings isn't cold, she's overwhelmed. And the man who understands that never needs to guess. He observes, regulates, and lets the truth reveal itself. The second sign lives in her eyes and her timing, not in what she says. When a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, she watches you when she thinks you're not aware. Not in an obvious way, in fragments, in stolen glances, in moments where her attention drifts toward you before her mind can stop it. This isn't romantic poetry, it's neuroscience. Attraction activates the brain's reward system, and the eyes instinctively seek what the mind finds rewarding. When she's hiding interest, she can't fully indulge that instinct, so it leaks out in brief, unguarded moments. You'll notice it when you're talking to someone else and she suddenly becomes quieter, or when you look up and catch her looking away just a second too late. Or when her eyes soften around you, then harden again, as if she's reminding herself to stay in control. Here's what most men miss. It's not the glance itself that matters. It's the recovery. A woman who isn't interested doesn't correct herself. A woman hiding interest does. She straightens her posture, adjusts her tone, creates emotional armor in real time. Timing reveals even more. She responds faster than she means to. She shows up when she didn't have to. She remembers dates, preferences, offhand comments you forgot you made. Then she downplays it. Oh, I just happened to be free. I remembered because I have a good memory. These are rationalizations, not coincidences. Her nervous system is already invested. Her ego is trying to catch up. Pay attention to how she behaves when you create a pause, when you stop filling the silence. When you let a moment breathe. A woman hiding attraction struggles with silence around you. Silence amplifies emotion, and emotion is what she's trying to suppress. She may laugh to fill the space, change the subject abruptly, or suddenly check her phone, not because she's bored, but because she's regulating herself. This is why chasing verbal confirmation is a mistake, Words are the last place hidden attraction shows up. The body speaks first. The timing gives it away. The effort reveals the truth. And here's the psychological edge. When you don't call these signs out, when you don't pressure her to explain herself, you allow her subconscious to relax. You communicate strength without aggression, confidence without demand. Attraction that feels safe eventually stops hiding, but only around a man who doesn't try to force it into the open. The men who win are not the ones who ask, "Do you like me?" They're the ones whose presence makes her stop asking herself why she's trying so hard not to. The third sign is resistance disguised as independence. When a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, she often overemphasizes how fine she is without you. She subtly asserts emotional self-sufficiency, not because it's true, but because she's trying to convince herself. You'll hear it in her language. She mentions how busy she is, how she doesn't need anyone, how relationships aren't a priority right now. She frames closeness as something she could take or leave. But watch her behavior, not her declarations. People don't defend what they genuinely feel at peace with. This defensive independence is a psychological shield. Attraction creates vulnerability. Vulnerability threatens control, and control to someone hiding feelings feels like survival. Here's where it becomes revealing. She pushes back against you in small ways, not hostility, resistance. She challenges your opinions more than necessary. She tests your emotional frame. She disagrees just to see if you'll fold, get reactive, or lose composure. This isn't conflict, it's calibration. A woman hiding attraction needs to know one thing before she allows herself to feel more. Can you remain stable when she doesn't make it easy? Can you hold your ground without punishing her for it? If you become defensive, overly agreeable, or try to win her over, her fear deepens. If you stay calm, amused, and self-directed, something shifts. Her resistance softens, not immediately, but internally. You may also notice she downplays moments of connection. A deep conversation suddenly becomes not that serious. A shared laugh gets brushed off. A meaningful exchange gets reframed as casual. This is emotional minimization. She's shrinking the moment so it doesn't feel dangerous. But here's the contradiction. She keeps coming back for more. She reinitiates contact after pulling away. She circles back to unfinished conversations. She checks in under practical pretenses. Just wanted to see if you're okay. I thought you'd find this interesting. These are bids for connection that feel safe enough to justify. Understand this clearly. When attraction is hidden, it doesn't disappear. It reroutes. It finds socially acceptable paths to express itself. The mistake men make is trying to break through the resistance. You don't break it. You outgrow it. You stay centered. You don't argue with her independence. You respect it. And that respect removes the need for her to defend it. Psychologically, this is powerful. When she no longer feels she has to prove she doesn't care, she stops hiding the fact that she does. The fourth sign is emotional protection that looks like distance. When a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, she becomes selective about how close she lets you get. Not physically at first, but emotionally. She keeps parts of herself just out of reach. She'll share surface-level stories but hesitate when the conversation turns personal. She deflects questions about her fears, past hurts, or deeper desires. Not because she doesn't trust you, but because trusting you would make the attraction real. And real is what she's trying to delay. This is where men often misread the situation. They assume emotional distance means lack of interest. In reality, it often means the opposite. Emotional withdrawal is a form of self-regulation. She's controlling exposure so she doesn't fall faster than she feels prepared for. Notice how she reacts when you open up instead, when you speak calmly about your own experiences without oversharing or demanding reciprocity. A woman hiding attraction listens intensely. Her focus sharpens. She remembers what you say. She may not immediately match your vulnerability, but she absorbs it. Later, she references it unexpectedly. She asks questions that show she was paying attention. She brings up something you shared weeks ago. This delayed emotional response is significant. it. It means she processed it privately before allowing it to influence how she feels. There's also a subtle tenderness in how she treats your emotional state. She notices when your energy is off. She checks in indirectly. You seem tired. Everything okay? These are safe ways to express care without exposing desire. Here's the deeper psychology. When a woman is hiding attraction, she's not deciding whether she likes you. She already knows that. She's deciding whether it's safe to like you. Safety isn't created by intensity. It's created by consistency, by your ability to remain the same whether she leans in or pulls away, by not punishing her distance with coldness or pressure. When you respect her pacing, something powerful happens. Her nervous system relaxes. The emotional guard starts to lower, not because you forced it, but because you didn't threaten it. And that's when she begins to test emotional closeness again. Small disclosures, personal jokes, quiet moments of honesty slipped into casual conversation. She's checking if it's still safe. Men who understand this don't rush intimacy. They allow it. They become the calm space where attraction doesn't feel dangerous. And eventually, distance stops being protection. It becomes unnecessary because she no longer feels like she has to hide what feels natural around you. The fifth sign shows up as jealousy she pretends not to feel. When a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, her emotions leak out in moments she can't fully control, and jealousy is one of the hardest to suppress. You'll notice it when another woman enters the picture, even casually. Her energy changes, not dramatically, subtly. Her tone tightens. Her engagement drops or spikes unnaturally. She may make a dismissive comment about the other woman or suddenly act indifferent. This isn't insecurity, it's emotional exposure. A woman who doesn't care doesn't react. A woman hiding attraction reacts, then corrects herself. Sometimes she does the opposite. She becomes overly agreeable, overly friendly, almost performative. This is not confidence, it's comparison. She's unconsciously checking where she stands without admitting she's standing anywhere at all. There's also competitive curiosity. She asks questions she claims are just wondering. She wants to know who else has your attention, how much of it they get, and whether you're emotionally available, without revealing that she wants to be the one who receives it. Here's where men often make a critical mistake. They either overplay this reaction to provoke more jealousy, or they shut down to avoid tension. Both disrupt psychological safety. The grounded response is neutrality. You don't flaunt options, you don't hide them either. You remain calm, respectful, and unchanged. This tells her something powerful. Your interest isn't reactive. Your value doesn't depend on competition. That steadiness does two things. It reduces her fear of emotional chaos, and it forces honesty inward. She can no longer rationalize her reaction as coincidence. She has to confront the feeling she's been avoiding. You may notice her becoming more present after these moments, more engaged, more intentional. This isn't strategy, it's clarity forming. Jealousy, in this context, isn't possessiveness. It's self-awareness waking up. And when a woman becomes aware that she cares, hiding it becomes exhausting. The men who trigger this realization don't push it, they don't confront it. They allow her emotions to rise and settle on their own. Because attraction that surfaces naturally is far stronger than attraction that's pulled into the open. The sixth sign is emotional mirroring she doesn't acknowledge. When a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, her subconscious begins to synchronize with yours. Not intentionally, automatically. You'll notice she starts adopting your language patterns, your humor, your pace. If you slow down, she slows down. If you become thoughtful, she becomes reflective. If you're playful, she mirrors it, then pulls back as if she revealed too much. This isn't coincidence, it's emotional alignment. Humans naturally mirror those they feel connected to, but when attraction is hidden, the mirroring happens before the mind approves it, and that's why she often seems surprised by herself afterward. She may say something very you, then quickly qualify it, or laugh harder than she expected to, then try to regain composure. Pay attention to how she reacts to your emotional state. Not your words, your state. When you're calm, she relaxes. When you're stressed, she becomes attentive. When you withdraw slightly, she senses it immediately, even if she doesn't comment on it. This sensitivity is not friendliness. It's attunement, A woman hiding attraction is hyper-aware of emotional shifts because her nervous system is already invested. She feels changes before she understands them. That's why she may ask indirect questions, test your mood, or create light interaction just to check the temperature. What's important here is how you respond. If you become inconsistent, warm one day, distant the next, her anxiety increases and her defenses strengthen. If you become overly intense, she retreats. But if you stay emotionally coherent, something powerful happens. She begins to feel regulated around you. From a psychological perspective, this is profound. Emotional regulation is deeply attractive, especially to someone who is fighting their own feelings. Your steadiness becomes a safe reference point. Your presence lowers her internal noise. That's why she may open up unexpectedly after long restraint. A sudden, honest comment. A personal admission dropped casually. A moment of softness she quickly tries to brush off. Those moments are not accidents. They are cracks in the wall she's been holding up. Men often ruin this phase by calling attention to it. Why are you acting different? You seem close today. That awareness forces her back into control mode. The stronger move is acceptance without demand. You allow closeness without labeling it. You let her feel without interrogating the feeling. And when a woman feels emotionally aligned without pressure, the need to hide disappears. Because hiding is exhausting when being around someone feels this natural. At that point, attraction stops being something she manages and starts being something she allows. The seventh sign is the moment her restraint begins to fail. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. When a woman likes you but has been trying to hide it, there comes a point where the emotional weight of suppression becomes heavier than the risk of expression. And you feel it before you see it. Her behavior grows more intentional, not rushed, not desperate, intentional. She chooses moments with you more carefully. She creates space in her life without announcing it. Time appears where there wasn't time before. Effort shows up where excuses once lived. What changes most is her presence. She's more grounded around you, less performative, less guarded. The tension you felt earlier, the push and pull, the emotional static begins to settle. This isn't disinterest, it's acceptance. You'll notice longer eye contact that doesn't immediately break, silence that feels comfortable instead of awkward, conversations that slow down instead of rushing toward an ending. These are not signals she's trying to send. They are signs she's stopped trying to hide. There's also a shift in how she treats boundaries. Early on, she needed distance to feel safe. Now she respects yours. She doesn't chase, but she doesn't disappear. She allows mutuality to form. This is crucial. Hidden attraction seeks control. Acknowledged attraction seeks balance. Here's the psychological truth most men never hear. When a woman stops hiding attraction, she doesn't suddenly become obvious. She becomes calm. Certainty doesn't need theatrics. It needs alignment. At this stage, the most dangerous thing a man can do is rush the outcome, to push for labels, to demand clarity, to force a confession. That pressure reactivates the very fear she worked so hard to quiet. The strongest move is patience paired with direction. You don't stall, you don't drift. You lead gently. You suggest, invite, and move forward without urgency. This communicates confidence without threat. And that's when she chooses, not because she was convinced, but because she feels safe enough to stop resisting herself. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Attraction that hides is not weak. It's cautious, it's intelligent, it's protecting something real. The men who experience the deepest connection are not the ones who extract feelings from women. They are the ones who create an environment where feelings no longer need to hide. If this spoke to something you felt but couldn't name, stay here. There's more truth ahead, and it's meant for men who are ready to see clearly, without fear, without force, and without needing to be told twice.